I wrote the prompt on the board. Write about what you want to be when you grow up and what your typical day would be like. Half an hour later, Susie sat across from me, rough draft cradled in her arms. She glanced up at me over the top of her paper and I smiled. Whenever you're ready, Susie. Well, she looked down at her paper and then back at me. All I have right now is a list. It's not a story yet. That's okay. Let's hear what you have so far. She swallowed hard and her eyes became somber. I'm only 8 years old. There's so much for me to really figure out. My life could go in one of many directions. Her paper floated down to her lap and she began to talk with her hands. What if I'm good at everything and everyone wants me to do their jobs? Or what if I'm good at nothing and there aren't any jobs for me? What if my brother becomes king of the world? Then I wouldn't really even have a choice of what I get to be when I grow up, and then... She paused as I covered up my chuckle. Then she remembered her rough draft and picked it up. When I grow up, I want to be a ballerina, a secret agent, a construction worker, a zookeeper, a fashion designer, a chef, and a toy maker, a bus driver, a pilot, or maybe just a professional lemonade maker. Wow, that's quite a list. That's just my top 10. I really plan on owning a dance studio and a restaurant, and then I'll probably fight evil at night when my kids are asleep. You know, what I really want to be when I grow up is smart. I want to know everything, like how long chameleons live for. And I want to be the best mommy ever. Her paper flew out of her hand and fluttered to the floor. I'm going to know how to cure every boo-boo and make chicken noodle soup without making the noodles too soggy. And I'll drive a minivan, and there will always be a cooler in the trunk full of juice boxes. And I'll make sure I always have footballs and basketballs in the back seat, just in case. Whoa! You've got a lot of material there, Susie. Do you want to write about that? Being a mom? Well, if I have to pick one, I pick happy. I just need to smile every day and have recess. Recess makes me smile even when I don't want to. She set her paper on the desk that separated us and scribbled more ideas down. Well, Susie, you've got until recess to pick just one and write your story. Do you think you can narrow it down? She smiled and nodded and hugged her list to her chest. Then she slid out of her chair and chassed back to her desk. She was right. It truly was a silly thing to ask of an 8-year-old.